Hello, everyone, and welcome to APS 106, Fundamentals of Computer Programming. We're here with the teaching team of this course, and we'll introduce ourselves just to say hello, and hopefully over the course of this term, we get to know you as well through the live coding seminars, through the labs and tutorials, and so on. So maybe we'll just start. We'll get right into it. APS 106 is a computer programming course, an algorithm design course, and we all have the pleasure and privilege of working with all of you through the duration of this term. I'm Professor Chirag Variao. I have the pleasure to be the course coordinator. You'll see me in the asynchronous lecture videos, which are small lecture videos that are released at the beginning of each week. We're all expected to kind of go through and watch them, and they'll be reinforced in the live coding sessions hosted by Professors Chris Beck and Professor Marcus Bussman and Professor Daniela Rochu. And then move on to your tutorials with our head TA, Christine, who will introduce herself in a moment. And of course, through the labs or the practicals with Nicholas, as you see here, who's waving. So yes, we'll jump right into it. You'll see me in the asynchronous sections. And hi, I'm Professor Chirag Variao. I'll pass it on to Professor Chris Beck, who will say hello, and then Professor Marcus Bussman.
Hi, I'm Chris Beck, and I'm going to be holding one of the live coding sessions. Those of you who like to get up early in the morning in Toronto time, I'm going to be at the 9 to 10 slot on Wednesday and Friday. And I'm looking forward to demonstrating some of the things that you're going to see in the asynchronous lectures.
Hi, I'm Marcus Bussman. So I'm a professor of mechanical engineering, and I'm going to take the afternoon sessions of the live coding. So you'll see me 4 to 5 on Wednesdays and Fridays, Toronto time.
Professor Rochu.
Hello, I'm Daniela Rochu, and you'll see me also in the afternoons because I'm not an early riser. Together with Professor Bussman, I'm looking forward to working with you and showing you how to program in Python.
Awesome. So that's our professor team. Let's pass it on to our delightful head TAs. Nick, maybe we'll start with you and then move on to Christine. Nick, what do you do?
Hi, so I'm Nick. I'm a PhD student in biomedical engineering, and I'll be mostly interacting with you through the labs for this course.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christine. I'm the head TA for the tutorials. I'm in my second year of my master's in biomedical engineering and looking forward to meeting you all.
That's tremendous. We're just going to spend a few moments, not too long, just to give you an overview of where to find some of the core course content for this course. So what you'll see here is that, whoops, I'll move this over here. So we're all on the same screen. What you'll see on Quirkus, so that's q.utoronto.ca, are two websites. One is APS 106, LEC and TUT, and tutorials. Another one that says APS 106 PRA or labs. So if you were to click on the lecture and tutorial site, you'll be coming across something that looks like this. So you'll notice that there's course admin documents, speed travel links, and so on. The student-facing version of this site might include some of these headings, might not include some of these headings. So what you'll be looking at is the course admin documents as the starting point for this. So what I'll draw your attention to is this first document, which is the APS 106 recipe for completing this course. Essentially what this document says is, where to access the asynchronous lecture videos, the synchronous lecture videos, and so on. So do take a look at that. You'll also see a copy of the syllabus. So all students are required to get a sense of what this document is about. In there, you'll have our contact information, the names and contact information for the head TAs, and so on and so forth. Also, the learning outcomes document is here, where you can get a sense of what we'll be learning here. The computer setup bit talks about this thing called a Jupyter Notebook and Wing 101 for both our friends who use Apple operating systems as well as Windows operating systems. So please do get familiar with the language here. Professor Beck, I think you're using Jupyter Notebooks in your class. What is all of that about?
So Jupyter Notebooks are basically a web page that will allow you to mix text and code and actually execute the code as we go. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing in the live coding sessions is to give you sort of a beginning web page, which has some of the text in it and no code. And as we go through the live coding, I'm actually going to be writing the code in and executing it right in that web page to show you what the code does and to show you how to develop code. And at the end of it, you have actually a complete record of the live coding session that you can that I will upload to Quirkus and you can take and study.
That's tremendous. Thank you. And you're probably wondering, well, if that's what Jupyter Notebook is about, what's going on with this other thing called Wing 101? We might also be using Wing 101 a little bit. That's our, it's an alternative. So you can kind of print or create your code right there, press run, and it'll type it out down here. You'll see a lot more of that, especially in the tutorials and perhaps other live coding sessions as well. So that's just a different approach, if anything, but still uses Python, which is, as you will come to see, the programming language that we're using in this course. I'll also draw your attention to the speed travel link. So those of you who took APS 100, hello again. It must be all of you at some point. You'll see Piazza. So we're going to continue to use Piazza. And so we'll be distributing that based on the weeks. So please do contribute to Piazza. That's a question and answer site. You post a question and one of the instructors or your fellow students will respond back. Last year we had good success. We had a low response time and we'll endeavor to do the same this time. So any course related questions you have, put it on Piazza and you will see the link populate here once the course is underway. You'll also see a direct link to the lab's website, which we mentioned previously. That'll largely be operated by Nick. And you can ask lab related questions on Piazza too if you'd like. We've also created a fun YouTube channel for you to watch if you are interested, but that is not necessarily part of the core content, these YouTube channel materials. The asynchronous lectures, I will be posting the asynchronous lectures here. And as the weeks progress, you'll see more and more of them populate. And they'll be hidden from the students. We don't want you to go too far ahead, kind of stay together. So you kind of know what's happening in tutorials in the labs and not get material too confused, especially for those of you who have some coding experience in the back end. The PowerPoint slides will be posted as well as the lecture videos. And sometimes there will be more than one Shmar lecture video just to keep it accessible. We'll continue to use the My Media system so that people around the world are having access to this. If you have any troubles with that, please do write on Piazza and we'll get right to you with your question and answer. There's also some material here from the synchronous lectures, perhaps the tutorials, and so on. So that's just a little update about the course. I will stop sharing my screen so that we are all back here in our wonderful grid layout. And just wanted to say thank you for being part of APS 106. We look forward to being part of this learning journey with you. And right before we end, maybe I'll go around asking everybody one tip for success in this course. And I'll start by saying, to be successful, read the announcements. Right, that's one part that I'd say. Maybe we'll go in the same order. Professor Beck?
Practice, practice, practice. Write some programs.
Write some programs. Mark, Professor Busman?
You know, it's a lot like learning any other language. It's what Professor Beck said. You've got to practice it to get good at it.
Awesome. Professor Rosu?
Yes, practice, 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 but also find something that you'd really like to do, a problem you want to solve, and try to solve it using Python.
Ooh, nice. Nick?
I think have the understanding that we don't expect you to know how to program when you're coming in, so don't be shy and ask your TAs lots of questions. It's a lot more fun for us when you guys are asking questions and engaged in the labs and tutorials than when you're scared to ask questions.
Good advice. And Christine?
I would say definitely practice makes perfect, and ask your questions either in Piazza or during tutorial or during lab or in class. I think that's super important. If you don't know what you're doing, definitely seek the help.
Awesome. So everybody who's watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you in class. Bye-bye.